Hi, I'm Joshua Fields Milburn with theminimalists.com, and 4 years ago I started a blog and I had no idea what I was doing. In fact, my best friend Ryan Nicodemus and I started a blog and neither one of us knew what we were doing. But I can tell you it's one of the best creative decisions that I've ever made. I've always wanted to be a writer, I've always wanted to find a way to express myself, and I think there are two different ways to express yourself. There's expressive expression, and there is communicative expression. And a blog really allows me to do both. So expressive expression, that's like writing things down in your journal or creative writing. But then communicative expression is getting a message out into the world. So the blog it doesn't just allow me to journal and get my thoughts onto a page. It allows me to get those thoughts, that message, those stories, those updates out to the world. So I want to help you today and learn how to start a successful blog today. Now, we're going to go through 7 fairly simple steps. Everything I like to do is simple, being theminimalists.com. But I can tell you when I first started, I really had no idea what we were doing. In fact, when we first started the blog, I remember 52 people visited our website in the first month. And that was amazing to me. I know it might sound unimpressive at first, but I was really impressed that a few dozen people were really finding value in our words. And over time, those 52 readers turned into like 400 and 4,000 and 40,000. And last year, more than 4 million people showed up and read our words at theminimalists.com. And what I learned in that process is that when you add value to someone's life, they're really eager to share your message to their friends and family. They want to add value to their lives as well. And so that's why I'm doing this today. I hope in a way to add value to your life by showing you how to set up a successful blog. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll go through the 7 steps, but I'll start first with step 0. And step 0 is you need to pick what platform from which you are going to blog. For me, I use WordPress for the minimalists, and the reason I use WordPress is really it's the most customizable. It's the most I have the most control when I use WordPress as opposed to other platforms. It doesn't mean there are other platforms that are necessarily bad. There are things like Tumblr, a microblogging site, or Blogger.com, which is a bit older, a bit more vintage, but it gives you the opportunity to at least start blogging if you want to do that. But I wanted a lot more control, and I also wanted to make my website look beautiful because I believe that is part of the writing process, is the aesthetic. And so I decided to gain control by having a WordPress blog. So let's assume you're setting up a WordPress blog for the purpose of this tutorial, and you can follow along online. There are a bunch of screenshots and other text as well that explains step by step what we're doing here. And we're also going to have the screencast here for you to see exactly how I'm going through these steps, step by step by step, until you have a beautiful blog. So follow along at theminimalists.com/WordPress. We're going to go ahead and move on to step 1. And step 1 is make sure you're prepared. Now, I don't like to rush personally, and so I like to recommend setting aside an hour to set up your blog from start to finish. Now, is it going to take you a full hour? No, probably not, but I don't want to feel rushed. So let's set aside an hour, and let's make sure we have our debit card or credit card as well, because we're going to need to pay for a couple things up front. Some hosting, there's a few bucks a month you'll pay to host the website. And if you don't already have a domain, you'll actually get a domain name for free. So step 1 is be prepared. Set aside an hour and make sure you have your debit or credit card ready. Then we're going to go into step 2. Step 2 for you is your domain. My domain is theminimalists.com, and then you're going to need a place to host that domain. This is the land upon which we will build our blog. And for me, the land I use, or the company I use to host our blog, is a company called Bluehost. And we're going to go through step by step how to set up our WordPress blog with Bluehost. Now, the reason that I use Bluehost instead of some other companies is, first off, they're incredibly reliable. They have a phenomenal price, and also they'll give you a free domain if you don't have one already. I know domains aren't that expensive. They'll cost you 10, 15 bucks a year, but with Bluehost, they're going to give you one for free. So we'll go ahead and set that up. Oh, and the last reason that I use Bluehost is they have a money back guarantee, because when I first started blogging, I wasn't sure if, am I really going to want to do this thing a month from now or a few weeks from now even, and I don't want to pay for a month or a year of hosting if I'm not going to be using this. And so if I decided to change my mind, I knew they had a 30-day money back guarantee, which was really great. But plus, a lot of my friends and family also use Bluehost, and that's how it was recommended to me. So that's the reason that I recommend Bluehost. First thing we're going to do in the blog post here that we have at theminimalists.com/WordPress is click on Bluehost web hosting. And you'll see the exclusive offer. There's actually a sale price on there, and so you're going to get a little bit better deal, not just on a free domain, but of course with the monthly service as well. So I'm just going to click Get Started Now, and I'm going to select my package here. I'm just going to start. Most people, this covers 99% of folks, start with the very basic package, the starter package. There are some additional options if you're a business pro user or you're going to anticipate a ton of traffic. But for 99% of folks who are getting started, the starter package works really well for them. So I'm just going to click Select here. And I want a new domain. Now, if you already have a domain, if you already bought a domain years ago and you've been sitting on it, your name or whatever, then you're welcome to do that. But for me, I'm just going to start a brand new blog right now. We're just going to call it Minimalism, How to Start a Blog. .com. And so we'll just click Next here. And I'm going to type in my information here. So my name's Joshua. Last name is Milburn. Business name, The Minimalists. That's optional. There we go. And there's going to be some more options down here. You can do domain privacy protection. I don't necessarily recommend doing a bunch of extras, but there are some extras. You can customize it exactly however you want to do it. Just plug in my billing information. Close your eyes. I need to type in this debit card number. Click the little confirm button and submit. All right, on the next screen it's going to say select whatever upgrades that you want to suit your needs. You can pick whatever upgrades you want. I'm just going to go ahead and go down to the bottom and click continue, or complete rather. Move on to the next screen. And it just says welcome to Bluehost. Congratulations. And the nice thing about this is if I decide to change my mind, you know, a week from now, 2 weeks from now, they've got a 30-day total money back guarantee. So you're not locked into anything right away once you click a submit button. So all I have to do is choose a password for my account. I'm going to create my password right now. So I'll go ahead and plug a password in, or you can use the password generator, which is what I'm going to use. Paste that in. Click create. Gives me a nice complex password. Okay, once we have our Bluehost account established, we are going to install WordPress. Now, if you're like me, the word install sounds terrifying. And so I don't want you to think about it like install. I really want you to just think about it as click a few buttons, because that's all you're really going to have to do with Bluehost. They make it really simple to install your WordPress. So let's go ahead and I'm going to walk you through step by step, once you've signed up for Bluehost, how to install WordPress. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and click I can do it myself. You can also have their team help you out as well, but I think it's relatively simple, so let's just go ahead and click I can do it myself. We'll close this guide. You go on up to the top here and click Website, and just click Install Now. It'll take you to the next screen. Got a couple options here, install or import. We're just going to click Install. And it says select which domain you would like to install. I'm just going to check domain. And that brings us to our last step. We're just going to click Install Now. Oh, but first you have to click the terms and conditions, accept them. Of course, read through them thoroughly. All right, next you're going to see this pop-up window. It says we're setting up WordPress for you. And it gives you some options for some themes. You can certainly go in there and take a look at some of the themes. I use a different theme store that we will recommend here in a future step. So I'm just going to head and exit out of there because I prefer the themes that we use. All right, that was easy. And you see how easy that was? Well, next we get to do something a little bit more fun now, because the installation process is kind of boring, let's face it. We get to design our blog, and we design our blog by using a theme. Don't worry, you don't need to know anything about coding or HTML. I can hardly spell HTML, so you don't have to worry about any of the coding side of things. The way we're going to make our blog beautiful is we are going to select a theme. And there are two types of themes. So you think of WordPress and Bluehost as the land upon which we're building this blog. Well, your theme, there are two themes. There's a Genesis theme, which is your framework, and then there is your child theme, and that is the facade that makes your home beautiful. So we're going to show you how to do both of those right now and make your blog beautiful as well. If you're still following along in the blog post here at theminimalist.com/WordPress, you'll see that we're going to start with Genesis. We're going to start with the framework, and all you have to do there is click the Genesis button. So once you're on the Genesis page, you just simply click Buy Genesis Framework. Pretty simple. This is a one-time transaction fee, so it's relatively inexpensive, but once you've set this up, you'll have it in perpetuity. So I just create my account. Then you just click Create Account and complete your purchase. Once I'm done with that, I click Log In. Simply type in the password I created. And here we are. We get to download our theme. So we're going to download the Genesis framework. All right, once you have purchased and downloaded the Genesis framework, there's just one last step with the themes before we can make your website, make your blog beautiful. So we're going to go to the Built store. Just click through here on theminimalist.com. We're going to open that up, and we're going to select which theme we want. These are all customizable themes, so you'll be able to manipulate them and make them fit what you're trying to communicate. But I think it's good to pick the one that is most in line with your vision of how you want your blog to look like. So we're going to go in and select one that stands out to us. I like the single box one here. Let's try that out, and it's only 18 bucks. Let's click Purchase. It's a one-time $18 fee that I will pay in order to get the facade on my house, so to speak. So I don't already have an account, so I should obviously set up a new one here. I'm just going to type in my email address and all my contact information. All right, once I have purchased my child theme here through the Built store, I just simply download it. You just click on the theme there to download it. It'll show up in your downloads. And now we've purchased and downloaded both our framework, the structure of our blog, and then the facade, the child theme that's going to make our blog beautiful. All right, so we've selected our themes. Now it's time to install them. You have them downloaded onto your computer. That was really easy. And now what we have to do is install our themes. That is step 5. So let's go ahead and take the themes that we've selected and let's get them installed. You remember how easy it was to install WordPress? Well, installing your theme it's even easier. So we're just going to go back to Bluehost and install our theme. But first I'm just going to click View Credentials. Okay, so we're back here at the Bluehost page, and this is going to take us over to our WordPress blog, which is now installed, right? So I would just click on this. And then once we're in WordPress, we're going to be able to install both of our themes. So here on your WordPress page, you just click, or you scroll over Appearance, and then click on to Themes. And from there, you're just going to simply click Add New. So first I selected the Genesis theme, and installing that, it's unpacking the zip file. So you could click Activate here, but don't do that. what you want to do is click on Return to Themes page. We still want to take that child theme, the single box one that we selected, and we want to install that one as well. So same process, just click Add New, choose your file. For me, that's the single box. All right, good news. That means both themes, the framework as well as the child theme, are installed, and so all we have to do is click Activate. Look at that. Your new theme is activated. It's that simple. Now I can just go in and customize my theme. There are a bunch of different things you could do. You just click the Customize button here. And for me, this is where the fun part really begins. I'll let you just determine exactly what you want to do in terms of uploading your logo, or if you have a logo. If not, you can create one. You can do a bunch of other stuff with colors and background images and all these other widgets. And over the coming days and weeks, you'll learn what you really like, what resonates with you, and you'll make tweaks. And I always say keep tweaking until you're happy, and then maybe tweak a little bit more until you're really enjoying the website that you have. All right, congratulations. You have your themes installed at this point, and everything else is really easy. The next step is we just want to install 3 plugins that we recommend. You can install any other plugins you want. These are absolutely free, but they're going to help you with your website. So there are a few plugins here at theminimalists.com. You'll be able to take a look, and we'll go through a few screenshots of that as well. I like the website to be fairly lean. There are other plugins you can use in the future if you decide you want to add things, but there are 3 plugins that we recommend at theminimalists.com. WordPress SEO, Google Analytics, so you can track your traffic. You can see those 52 people who visit your website the first month, or maybe it'll be more than 52. Maybe you have more Facebook friends than I do. And then Jetpack by WordPress as well. So I've got a description of all 3 of those in here. You could click through with these links that are on our website at The Minimalist, but you can really just go right back to your WordPress blog, and you can go to Plugins. I'm just going to click Add New. And you'll be able to find the plugins right here. In fact, the Jetpack one is right here. We can click Update. You can find a bunch of other plugins that are here already, but we're just going to search for the ones that we want. Right there, the first one that comes up. All right, that is installed. Let's add one more new one. There we go. Google Analytics by Yoast. It's the one with all the great reviews. You just click Activate Plugin. All right, it's hard to believe, but we are already at the end, and this is my favorite step because it's a step that goes on in perpetuity. This isn't a step you ever get to the end of. And step 7 is tinker with your blog until you are happy. Now, obviously, I don't recommend continuing to tinker endlessly every single day, but as your desires and your needs change, your blog will probably evolve as well. And so right now, you'll want to mess around with your blog a bit. You'll want to add your own photos, your own style, your own voice, and you'll do that through your writing, not only your writing, but you'll want a photo of yourself. I definitely recommend having a photo of yourself because people identify with other people. They don't just identify with pictures of cats or cartoon avatars. We want to see other people. And then you'll get to make some other decisions with your blog as well. Who am I going to use to put photos on my blog post? Well, you can take your own photos, right? Of course, there are some free resources here at theminimalists.com/WordPress. Paul Jarvis has some great photography that is all free. There's a website called Unsplash that's free, or if you wanted to pay a fee to have some photography. I don't do this, but some people do. They have iStock or Shutterstock or several different websites that you can check out on your own. Or, of course, you can take your own photos for your own blog and give it your own personal touch. You, of course, want to incorporate your social media. Do you use Facebook? Do you use Twitter? Do you use Google Plus or Instagram? Well, you get to link all of those to your blog. And determine whether or not you want comments. I don't have comments at theminimalists.com, anymore, but we used to. It just became a very long job, tedious job to manage comments many, many hours per week. But I find that when bloggers first start, it's very helpful to have comments. You're going to build your audience starting with the audience you already have. Well, who is that? That's your Facebook friends, your friends and coworkers and networking buddies and all of these different people who are already in your life. And then once they start finding value, they will start sharing your words with other people. All right, so we have some additional resources at theminimalist.com. So if you're looking for more information about blogging or writing, etc., if you go to the bottom of that blog post, theminimalist.com/WordPress, you'll find 20 recommendations for your blog. You'll find a really great essay from Seth Godin called What Media Counts, and he really questions the traditional media versus the new media of blogging and social media. We have a resource there from Asymmetrical Press called How to Publish a Book. So if you decide later down the road that you want to turn your blog into a book, or if you've got this great book idea that you're trying to get out there and you don't really know how to do it, well, there's a 6-step guide to publishing your own book, and it's like 25,000 words, 6 podcasts, very comprehensive. And then if you're interested in improving your writing, I would like to recommend to you my writing class, which is How to Write Better. And really what you'll learn in there is not just how to write better, but the habit of better writing. And of course, you hear this term, search engine optimization. And I had no idea, I heard this term all the time, what it meant. SEO, SEO, SEO. I always thought it was like some British rock band. But SEO is a way to get more people to your website. But there aren't any shortcuts. There aren't any sort of how-to tricks. There's no way to game the system, but there are some really interesting thoughts. Our friend Colin Wright wrote a really great article. It's pretty funny, actually, that you can go to and learn a little bit more about what do these people mean about search engine optimization. That's all I've got for now. I really hope you enjoy your new website, your new blog. I encourage you to continue to share your writing with the world using your blog and whatever other platforms you have out there. If I could leave you with one message from the minimalist, I think it's a pretty simple one. Love people and use things because the opposite never works. Thanks a lot. Most of all, that it helps you share your message, helps you communicate and express yourself with the rest of the world. So, good luck. I need to say something else profound.
I think that was it right there. Good luck. I need to say something else.
And the hosting company that I use is a company... okay. Step...
It's a good company.
Yeah, it's a company.